Before quarterly theory, I was already profitable, right? But quarterly theory is just, it's on another level. Its precision is crazy. To me, I think it's mind-blowing, because if I had known this 4 years ago, I'd be crazy.
Welcome everyone to the Words of Wisdom podcast. We're back once again. We're still here in Toronto. We are the #1 trading podcast in the world, and that's thanks to all of you and our incredible guests. Talking of which, we are joined by the one and only, someone I'm very excited to speak to, Mr. Trader Day himself. Thank you for being here, man.
It's a pleasure, brother.
It's absolutely my pleasure. I've been looking forward to this podcast, all week, because there's so much we can go into. You provide so much value on Twitter, in your Telegram, on YouTube, even though you have one video.
Just one video, man.
It's incredible though, because that one video is really taken off. And I think you tweeted actually recently, you've done 14,000 subscribers off that one video.
Yeah, almost 15 right now. Crazy.
Exactly. And then you said you're going to have a new one coming, which is going to be that's going to blow that one out the water.
Exactly.
Which we no doubt will touch on in a bit. But that video is about the quarterly theory. And I think that's the best place for us to start off on, is the quarterly theory. What is it? How did you come across it? Did you come up with it yourself? Can you just break it down for us?
So quarterly theory was derived from everything that Michael talked about in regards to the daily cycle, right? He gave us a lot of information about the daily cycle, but people don't really pay attention to it, because most of the things that he talks about in regards to that is about time, right? He always referred to the 4 quarters of the day. He never said that there's 4 quarters in the day, but there's just 4 quarters in the day, right? That he talks about the Asian sessions and the Asian session and how it has a specific function, right? He says that the Asian session usually consolidates, and if it consolidates, you can expect the London session to expand, and vice versa. If the Asian session expands, you can expect lackluster price action in the London session. Okay, so when he said that, my brain and I was like, okay, so if time is fractal, which I know, because when I take the sessions and I cut them up, I found 4 90-minute cycles in those as well. I began to do a lot of back testing. I began to do a lot of research, and I realized that the same way how the daily cycle functions is the same way how the 90-minute cycles function. And after digging deeper, I began to expand on the idea. So I realized that I began to, while studying ICT, he gives certain subtle clues. He gives, he will just tip us a little bit, but he's not going to push you to it, right? He will say things such as, don't trade on Sunday, right? And then he says that the best trading days are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and price can sometimes reverse on Thursday, right? And when he said that now, I took that and I applied that to the daily cycle now, because now he's talking about the weekly cycle, right? So there are countless amounts of cycles, but the main ones that I use, I talk about, is the microcycle, the 90-minute cycles, daily cycle, the weekly, the monthly, and the yearly cycle. Even above the yearly cycle, you have I've never really talked about this one before. There's the yearly cycle, and after that there's a quadrennial cycle, right? Which is each quarter consists of 4 years.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that's what that is. I don't think anyone knows what that is, but I will release it sometime soon. The quadrennial cycle is comprised of a year in each quarter, right? So how I can make this make sense to you is, if you realize you have US elections every 4 years, and then you have midterm elections every 4 years as well, right? The second quarter of the quadrennial cycle is usually US elections, right? Which is manipulation. And the fourth quarter is usually midterm elections, which is reversal, right? I talk about AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and reversal or continuation, right? They put those events in specific years, right, to manipulate the market. So if you guys realize this year just started and there's a lot of stuff that's happening, a lot of wars being kicked off. You have random natural disasters just like happening at the beginning of the year, planes crashing, all of this stuff, right? Some people may think that's random. I don't really believe that anything is random, right? And probably a little bit crazy, right? But yeah, that's what makes me me.
You know, at the end of the day, it makes you you, like you said, and I think that's what people love. I think people resonate with the fact that you are yourself, and you do provide some very esoteric sort of knowledge and tweets online, for example. And you've actually, I think, maybe even hinted towards that quadrillion cycle, is it?
Quadrennial.
I'm never going to be able to say that right. So the 4-year cycle. But you have hinted towards that because you made a tweet, which we're going to come back to a bit later, in regards to that, which I found very, very interesting. I'm sure we can go much deeper into it. But for now, let's go into your journey. Like, where did you start trading? How did you get into trading in the first place? Did you always think this way before trading, or was it trading that kind of pushed you in that way?
Actually, the reason why I began to think the way I do is because of Michael, ICT, right? So I've been listening to this guy rant for 4 years, basically. So I've been like maybe a year before that, like 4.5 years since I've been doing this. So like first it began with me just looking at stocks, you know, just looking at stocks, not trading or anything, just like interested by it. I used to study law and I dropped out in my 3rd year.
Wow.
So the reason because of that is my parents couldn't afford to send me to school anymore, and I was working a part-time job which wasn't cutting it, right? I began to look for a way in which I could possibly help my family and make a way out of the deep shadows that I was in, right? There was debt, couldn't pay rent, had to move to some place that I hate. Crazy. I lost my car. I had to sell my car. My parents lost their cars.
Wow.
And my dad lost his job. To be honest, it was a do or die situation.
Do you feel like that's what gave you the fuel to push into trading? Is that when you came across trading in the first place?
Yeah. That one of my friends, we were on back then. We used to use Snapchat. We had a group, and they usually sent in like videos, guys on YouTube trading and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'll start. I joined a few MLM groups.
Yeah.
They scammed me. But it was good because if I didn't join that group, then I wouldn't get to ICT, right?
Yeah.
There were people in there talking about him 4 years ago, right? Everyone's like, this guy's crazy, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Who the hell is ICT, right? Then I went to his YouTube channel and I watched a video of him live executing. I was like, is this guy on the 1 minute chart right now? And I saw this guy, like, he's doing what I do now basically, but back then it was crazy for me to see, right? I'm just starting.
Yeah.
So he was recording the video. He's recording the trade. He's placing a live stop. He's executing, and the moment this guy sells, the price drops, and I'm like, that's crazy. And he executed probably like 6 times. Price went up back. He drew some line, and I don't know what he was talking about. And then he's order block, and I'm like, order block? What's an order block? Goes there, drops again. I'm like, bro, this guy's crazy, bro. When I saw that video, it's like there was like something inside me that started to burn. I was like, nah, this is possible. If this is possible, then that means I can probably learn how to do this. I gotta learn how to do this. This guy's crazy. So I start scrubbing his YouTube videos. When I say, I mean like, I'll be there 12 hours a day. I kid you not. 12 hours a day, probably like 2 years straight. 12 hours a day, right? my girlfriend broke up with me because she couldn't really see me because I was in this. And I lost basically all of my friends right now, like probably all of them because of this, right? I probably have like 2 friends and that's probably it.
Really?
Right. So I was there 12 hours a day studying in like this unfinished basement. That's, man, crazy. Dust everywhere, right? Nothing, just grinding. It's just me, Wi-Fi, and this shitty computer. So after a while, I start to meet a few other guys that's grinding too. We start probably, studying together or whatnot. And after a while, they fell off. They couldn't handle it, right?
Yeah.
I started taking like brain supplements because ICT shit was so hard back then. Right?
Did they help?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Right, and so when I was like finished with all of his YouTube content, which probably took me like, I'd say like 5 months. I mean, every single video that he had up on YouTube, I watched every single one of them. I didn't miss one. Every single one, I watched them religiously, right? Because like deep down, I knew that this was the truth. I knew that this worked, right? Because like I met other guys, like they had like some people that were they had like some ICT groups and people posting their charts, right? And then these guys post before, after. They're like executing on it, and I'm like, well, these guys are crazy. And I'm like, contacting him, bro, how do you get like this? He's like, you just gotta, same thing I tell people, submit to time. Right? You just gotta submit to time. Those guys don't know where those guys are right now.
So it's like 5 months of watching the videos.
5 months watching the videos, no profits, no nothing, no money. I wasn't even thinking about money really. It's just like, I think I had a passion for it. I loved it. I really liked it. And then ICT thought so deep, right? He's like telling you some things that are like crazy.
You used to listen to like the rants and everything.
I remember this guy even talked about, I remember before COVID happened, I kid you not, like, don't know if it's a coincidence, whatever you guys want to call it. So before COVID happened, I remember this guy, I knew someone that was in his private mentorship back then, and they were showing me screenshots of him talking about this disease that's gonna come, or this virus that's gonna come, and the world is gonna shut down, and make sure that you have gas in your car, make sure that you have
food and everything.
Food.
Yeah.
He even talked about toilet paper. There was a toilet paper problem, right? And literally, I remember like 2020, then COVID just happened. I was at work and they sent home all of us. And I was like, wow, this shit really happened, right? And I just started to shake as I'm like, how does this even make sense, right? And for a while, it kind of bothered me. And then after a while, I realized that maybe it's true. Nothing is random. But then I started to dig deeper in the charts, right? I started to try to correlate like major events and price action. So like, even for example, when I looked at, if you look at 9/11, for example, the exact date, and I look at the dollar index, I see the dollar just crashed. And I'm like, okay, when COVID happened, the market crashed. The market just crashed, took liquidity. That's when like a lot of people got rich on Bitcoin, right? I remember seeing Ethereum at $150, $200 back then. It was crazy, right? And yeah, price dropped, took liquidity, and just rallied. I used to believe that the markets rely on fundamentals. So like, news and, world events and stuff like that. But honestly, right now, I think that the fundamentals rely on the markets. Okay. I think that it's all technical, right? I think that it's an algorithm. I think that price is controlled by an algorithm. I believe that time is what causes price to move. right? When the time is right, price reverses. That's what I think. Going back to quarterly theory, ICT's content changed the way how I think, and it changed me as a person, right? Just listening to him, it made me realize that certain things are not as important as they are, and other things are more worth your time.
So using that sort of information, and as you say, like ICT changed you as a person, you're listening to these things, you're seeing these events happen, you're starting to realize that, you know, sort of time in the market seems to be a very important thing.
It's the most important thing, in my opinion. So I believe that time is more important than price. If you look at a chart, there is not just price on a chart. It's not just price. Price is on the y-axis, but on the x-axis, you'll see time as well. People just pay attention to the y-axis, which is price. But even in basic math, we know that x is the cause and y is the effect, right? So that resonates with me because, like, I was pretty good at math, like, from a young age coming up, which is probably the reason why quarterly theory just basically presented itself to me.
Would you say that the focus on time and the quarterly theory is what made you profitable, or were you profitable before sort of making that realization? The lowest prices in the entire industry, with challenges from just $35 and payouts in as little as 5 days. The Expert Challenge is finally here. Get funded up to $100,000 at skilled funded traders. With unlimited trading days and 85% profit split, the Expert Challenge changes the game. Click the link below to get started today. I want to tell you about the best provider of tools for traders, and that is Lux Algo. Lux Algo is the largest provider of free tools on TradingView. You've probably seen them all over TradingView as well for their Smart Money Concepts indicator, as well as so many other free resources. Now, if you don't know, they have also created exclusive toolkits to take your trading to the next level directly on TradingView. Whether you trade price action, ICT, or you want advanced signals and powerful overlays, they have all the tools necessary for you to grow. All their tools work on every market, so whether you trade Forex, crypto, or stocks, it does not matter. Now, through the podcast, you can get 20% off using the link in the description. So make sure you click that, and let's get back to the episode.
Before quarterly theory, I was already profitable, right? I was already trading, but quarterly theory is just, it's on another level, right? Its precision is crazy, and to me, I think it's mind-blowing, because if I had known this 4 years ago, I'd be crazy. I don't know.
When did you sort of like put this together in terms of quarterly theory?
Quarterly theory, I had it around for, like, I'd say probably, I've had it like 2 years, but like in the work, just working on it. Didn't have a name, but I was just trying to get the time pieces together, right? The cycles, making them work. Like, for example, the 90-minute cycles, like I was even looking at different, like 30 minutes, 25 minutes, just trying to make it work, back testing it, looking at where price moved the most during those periods of time, scrubbing charts, going through years of data, right? Looking at which weeks of the month price has the most news events, stuff like that, where we can expect manipulation, testing out the theory, making sure that it works actually, not as, you know, something bogus that doesn't work. Because if you go in your charts, you'll see that it works. I can't fake that, right? If you go there, you look at, if you're trading during the New York session and you use the 7:30 true open of that session, you'll realize that price does what I say that it should do, right? And I got that concept, of course, from ICT.
The 7:30 true open.
No, I got the true open concept from him, but he just gave us one. He gave us the true day open, which is 12 a.m. But I used that and reverse engineer. I got the true opens for every session. I got the true open of the week, the true open of the month. I got the true open of the year, the true open of the quadrennial cycle, and I have a lot, and so on.
In terms of like true open of sessions, for example, what would that be in terms of time?
That would be 1:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
London session. For the New York session, as I just said, 7:30 a.m. For the afternoon session, that would be 1:30 p.m. And if you're if you're treating the Asian session, which is not a smart thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
then that would be 7:30 p.m. And the reason why it's not a smart thing to do is due to the fact that there is very low volume during the Asian session.
And that would all be like based on Eastern Standard Time.
Yes,
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time.
Why those times then? So like most people would think the New York session, as an example, would be 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you're saying it's 30 minutes before.
Yes, 30 minutes before due to the fractality of time, right? Because we're working with quarters, right? Just like how there are sessions of the day, every year has 4 quarters. That's widely known: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, right? Even our seasons, we have 4 seasons. We have winter, we have spring, then we have summer, then we have fall, right? It's something that I think is very deep. And last year, Michael introduced something else that got me thinking, which even strengthened the concept that I already had in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Was that the silver bullet?
No.
What was it?
It was when he started talking about playing cards, right? He said that there's 52 cards in a deck,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 4 suits in each deck. And when he said 4, and I was already on my wall, I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then I started to do a lot of research, and then I'm like, okay, I already had the concept, but this just strengthened it. And he said that it would be in his book or something like that. I was like, this guy already knows this.
Mm-hmm.
He knows this, but he doesn't want to tell anyone about this. He has stated that he teaches this hard on purpose, right? He doesn't want anyone to get it that easily. Even his 22 mentorship, there is a lot of ambiguity with that model, right? You can make money with that model, but there's a lot of ambiguity because it's not going to work unless you apply it in the right direction of order flow. And you need other things outside of what you talked about right there to be in that position.
So what would you say? So obviously timing is a very important one, as you've already mentioned. There's been like a debate on Twitter a bit about time and price. Some people saying you only need price, you don't need time. And obviously yourself actually recently tweeted about you only need time. And time is the most important aspect. What are your thoughts behind that? Obviously I can imagine, in terms of timing being important for yourself in particular, but what are your thoughts in terms of that argument of, you don't need time, time's not important, only price matters?
Well, in my opinion, to each their own. If you can make money with indicators, do it, right? I don't really care. People think that I come off as this guy that's going to bash people that does their own thing. No, I don't really care, to be honest. And I'm happy for you if I just want to see that, you're helping people, helping your family. You're not trying to cheat people or stuff like that, right? But in terms of that argument, I know that time is more important than price. Some of Michael's concepts don't work until you mesh time with price. For example, you have his imbalances. You can't just use a FVG with looking at one time frame. It's not going to work. You need 2 time frames, right? So there is like a process of time synchronization that price goes through, where price will pull information from different time frames. So you have, for example, the 1 minute time frame. You need a base of 15 minutes. You need a 15-minute imbalance to actually see a reaction.
So you need that correlation there.
Yes.
And the timing is the thing that correlates.
So that's the thing that usually messes people up, because new ICT traders, they go in price and they just try to buy into every FVG or try to sell in every FVG, but they're just looking at one time frame, and you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. What would you say then would be beneficial? Because obviously there's so many traders who are coming across ICT, whether they're new traders or people who are experienced and trying to make the switch to ICT concepts. What would you say that the best advice you could give them to try and give them the best start, if you will, and what to focus on so that they can have the most progress?
Okay, what to focus on to have the most progress? Don't focus on order blocks, breakers, or anything like that. Focus on imbalances, right? Learn the different types of imbalances, what they are. The balanced price range, inverse fair value gap, the regular fair value gap. Learn what those are. Study them. Study highs and lows. You even have different types of highs and lows. For example, you have like single highs, equal highs. You have diagonal highs, like highs that form like a slope. Look, you can expect price to gravitate to those more than the ones that I referred to before. And of course, focus on time, right? So I literally gave everyone something that will fast track their studying in regards to ICT. I have a lot of charter members that come to me and they're like, bro, before knowing this, I wasn't profitable. I couldn't trade, but I knew that I missed something, but this is crazy.
But you've had like chartered members, say that it's been beneficial to learn about the quarterly theory.
A lot. A lot. I probably can't count all of them. Like even right now in my Telegram groups, probably like over 1,000 are there right now.
Wow.
And I have hundreds of messages in my Telegram. People, these long ass paragraphs. I read them, but I can't reply to them all. But to everyone, I appreciate your words, and there's more coming.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure we're all excited for that. And how does it feel though to go from where you were? So as you mentioned, having to leave law school, having no job, learning in a sort of a half-built basement, if you will, and then now to having such a big impact on the industry and having such a huge impact on traders, really opening their eyes to the timing in the market.
I think that you get what you put in, right? So you reap what you sow. And I remember that I sowed a lot. I studied for months upon months, right? There were tears in my eyes sometimes. Sometimes I was hungry. I haven't eaten for like 2 days. My mom's calling me. She needs money. I don't have money. I can't answer, right? She's like, you're at Canada. You don't have money. And I'm like, I couldn't be working as much as I needed to because I had to be studying, right? So I sacrificed a whole lot.
How did it feel then to, then achieve that profitability after that time, after going through those hardships?
I remember the first time I had a successful trade was the top the first time was buying Bitcoin on the way up, right, to all-time highs, right? Probably made like, not a lot, probably like $17,000 or something like that. And that really changed my life because with that money, I wasn't paying a lot of rent. So for like the next year, I could use that money, cover my rent, which was just the most important part. I could be buying food. Like I was just eating like ramen and literally like tin fish and rice, ketchup. And I was able to, help my mom, which is the most important thing. She's why I really go into this. I have a younger brother and sister, them too, and my dad. So it felt amazing, actually. And then after a while, I saw people on Twitter. I started to tweet, and I started to get a little bit of attention. I remember I had like 100 followers, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. 100 followers, right? And then I remember Bitcoin being at like $50,000-$60,000, and I started to get bearish, right? Because even back then, so back in 2021 November, that time I already had the true year concept in my mind, and how I use that concept is above, I will be looking for sells, right? So above that particular open of the year, which was April, the first Monday in April, actually, to be exact. And if price is below that, I would be looking for buys. So price traded above that, it cleared all-time highs, and then I immediately I got bearish. And I believe that I was one of the only guys on Twitter at that time, probably had like 1,000 followers at that time, being bearish on Bitcoin. The majority of people were bullish. I even had some friends of my mom calling me, telling me that they're buying Bitcoin, right? And like I got so bearish. I'm like, these people know nothing, and they're here talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. I had around $9,000 left then, and when price was trading at around, I'd say $64,000, I made a risk, which I probably shouldn't have made. But you know, everything happened for a reason, and it ended up that I was correct. I was there. I remember telling everyone that. I remember tweeting some outrageous tweets like, I know what's gonna happen back then. Like when I go back and look at my tweets, I'm like, wow, why am I tweeting like this? Right? But like I had such strong convictions, right? And then I had to make it. I had no choice. I need to do this. My mom she's on my back. Everyone is on my back right now. I gotta do this. So I probably risked like $9,000, 10x trade, and it just dropped. I remember when it dropped down to like $40,000, I made another tweet saying that if price goes to all-time highs before 28,000, I'm gonna send everyone who retweets is $100 or something like that, right? And then everyone was laughing. They're like, "Okay, you're gonna pay us," and then a couple months after, 28,000. So I think that's one of the main things that I'm known for, which is Bitcoin, which is funny actually, because that's not my favorite asset.
Really?
No, I think I mostly talk about it because it's what people like, I guess. But personally, I trade futures. I love the Nasdaq, right? Okay. I'm on that under 15 seconds. Like,
really,
it's crazy right now. It doesn't, to a normal person, it doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Does your sort of quarterly theory and timing will go down to that low?
Yes, it does.
Would you say that the quarterly theory has helped you with navigating the lower time frames? Because that's a big struggle for a lot of traders.
Without the quarterly theory, I would not be on a 15-second chart or even a 1-minute chart, to be honest, because it looked crazy to me like 3-4 years ago to be doing that. Even before quarterly theory, I wasn't really on the 1-minute chart a lot. I usually was on like probably the 5 or the 15-minute time frames. But quarterly theory, it really helps you to navigate lower time frames, and it really helps you to get a bias on the market.
And with that short trade on BTC, how much did you make out of the back of that?
I don't really like talking about money, right?
I'm guessing it was a good trade.
Yeah, probably. I came out early, so I'll just say like 50,000.
Wow.
But I really don't like talking about money. I rather talking about like the
markets.
The markets.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I just know people will be wondering. But it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. It's an interesting thing that you pointed out there, though, is that you were saying tweets like, I know this is going to happen. So do you feel like even with obviously the knowledge of quarterly theory and the intricate knowledge of ICT concepts and timing, even then it's not correct to be very certain?
No. It's not correct to be certain at all. Not at all costs. Even if you're 80-90% accurate in your analysis or whatever, there's still a chance that you can be wrong. So that's where risk management comes in, right? You got to manage your risk properly.
And what do you trade? Do you trade personal capital, funded capital?
I trade personal capital. I used to trade for a company. I used to trade crypto for a company, a really big company. No one really knows about this. I signed an NDA with the company, so I can't really talk about it.
That's fine. And but now you're trading personal capital on futures.
Yeah, and I'm still with that company.
Still with the crypto. Yeah. Okay, nice. And then when it comes to sort of personal capital, then how do you go about handling sort of a drawdown You know, do you face much drawdown? And if you do, how do you handle that?
Well, drawdown, everyone faces drawdown, really, right? You make certain mistakes, you know, you can press the wrong button sometimes, it happens, right? So I risk around, I'd say 2% maximum, but 1% the most, right? I usually aim for 3 Rs, and I do not take more than 2 trades per day. So it's maximum 2 trades. If I lose the first one, I go back in with half risk, and if I lose that one, that's it for the day. The next day, if I win the first trade that I take, I would probably consider not taking another trade and just waiting for the other day. And apart from trading, I have another company that talks to me for analysis, right? So like they pay me to get my thoughts on the markets. Most time it's like they call me. For older men, they just question me, what do I think about this? What do I think about this? And yeah, they compensate me like monthly for that.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that for? Has that been a while?
For like 2 years. Nice. Since that Bitcoin thing.
Oh, really?
It's like they were like, wow, you're crazy. And then after a while, I was still calling Bitcoin, right? So it was like, I remember, because like back in 2022, price was way easier to read, right? And I was just catching highs, lows. They call me wow, you know, wrong one or two times, but that's normal.
Definitely. And with the crypto side, are you doing like sort of short-term trading, or is it more sort of the longer-term picture?
Long-term trading. So like even right now, I am definitely looking for lower prices, like probably like February, March of this year, right?
So do you think we'll get to all-time high, or do you think we'll go short before then?
I don't think so, to be honest. And because right now I believe that the markets are prone to go lower, even the S&P 500, NASDAQ, probably around, I have like a specific time period, so probably around February, between February and March, right? I think that the markets are going to shift sentiment.
Okay. Because you mentioned earlier about the true open of the year, and you mentioned April, the first Monday of April. Was that the true open, or was that something else?
That's the true open of the year, right?
Why is it that time?
Because it's the beginning of Q2, to make it easy to understand, right? So you have the first quarter, second, third, and fourth, right? It doesn't matter which cycle you're looking at. The beginning of Q2 will be the true open. Okay. And that's just how I believe that they program the algorithm to function.
So would you say that the quarterly theory and the focus on time is trying to understand the algorithm and how it's delivering price and its efficiency, or when it's being, is it like programming price for those specific time periods or cycles, if you will? Let's take a break for a minute there, guys, because I want to tell you about the best trading tool on the market, TradeZeller. The reason why TradeZeller is the #1 trading tool that every trader needs is because you can do backtesting, automated journaling, trade replay, in-depth analytics, and so much more. And the greatest part about TradeZeller is that it's all automated. All you have to do is connect your MT4 and MT5. It will pull all your data onto the dashboard. You can add playbooks. You can just add notes. You can add images from your trades, and you can get the insights that is necessary for you to progress as a trader. Now, TradeZeller is for absolutely everyone. Whether you're a crypto trader, whether you're a Forex trader, whether you trade prop firms, it is for absolutely everyone. And that is why thousands of traders have signed up using my link here through the podcast. Make sure you use the code RIZ10 for 10% off your monthly subscription, or WOR for 20% off your yearly subscription. The link is in the description below. And let's get back to the episode.
Yes, I believe that the True Open serves as a barometer, so you can use it to gauge price. If price is above it, it becomes heavy, right? And if price drops below a True Open, there is like this invisible force that will send it higher, So that's how I look at it.
Definitely. And let's go to a segment of explaining the tweets. So I screenshot some of your tweets over the last, I think, week or so. There were some good ones, to be fair. So I'm excited to break them down. So one is actually something you've been talking about, which was the 4-year cycle.
Yeah.
So you said Q1 2023, Q2 2024, and then Killzone in brackets. And then 2025 is Q3 with Killzone again, and then 2026. So can we just break that down a bit more?
Okay, so just as though I talked about the agent session before that, and I said that, which is Q1 of the daily cycle, it's usually unclear price action, right? It's usually choppy, which was like how most of last year was. We didn't get a lot of clean price action, right? So if you can look at that in comparison, and you'll see. So this year I'm expecting volatile markets, right? It's Q2, and then it's election year. You know, during election year there's always volatility, right? And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in terms of US elections.
So what about Q3?
Q3 is distribution. So this year should be manipulation, and then Q3 should be distribution. So Q3 should be even more volatile than this year. But this year will still give clean price action. So Q2 and Q3 are kill zones. Doesn't matter what cycle you're looking at. They're kill zones. Those are the best times to trade. And you can even find the kill zones within kill zones. So you can be like Q3 within a Q3 within Q3 will always be the best time to trade. For example, during the week, Q3 would be Wednesday. Within that higher time frame, Q3, you will have the New York session. And within that, you will have 9 to 10 a.m., which is the best time to trade. If you're trading futures and you focus on 9 to 10 a.m., you will see wonders. Every day you will find something to do.
So taking that logic, then it would be like, so Q2, for example, is this year, and then Killzone again, or the best time to trade, would it be between Q2 and Q3, as in the quarters of the year?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
yes, that's it.
So moving on to the next tweet, you kind of talked about it just briefly before, actually. So one, it says, got stocks, crypto, take profits while you still can. So essentially what you just referred to is you're expecting volatility and shorts, because even here it says sentiment shift Q1 of 2024, stocks, crypto, FX, look for it, high probability.
Yes. So when I talked about if you have stocks, crypto, take profits, I actually saw that it would do that. So that's why I literally tweeted that the day before, right? And then it slumped around 10% on some platforms, 8% across many, right? Around 400 million got liquidated during that time. So I was answering some questions in my DM. Do you think I should buy now? I see all of them, and I was like, no, don't buy this right now. We're gonna slump.
Definitely. And then,
but overall, stocks, crypto, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to be buying right now. Right? You're buying at a level that everyone and their grandma is trying to buy right now. Everyone is bullish, right? You have news about ETF all over the place. I anticipate bearish price action, basically. And I'm already bearish like before that too. It's just that adds confluence, right? So everyone is bullish, and then my analysis is saying that do not buy anything right here, right? There might be a last push or whatever to get more people in, you know.
That's one thing you mentioned. I think it would slump, have one more stop hunt.
Yeah, I mentioned that it would slump, which I already did. Had one last stop hunt and then just fall.
Interesting.
So I'm looking for the fall to happen around, as I said, around next month, March.
February, March time,
February, March.
When do you have any sort of prediction of when you think the actual bull market would take place?
I think that there will be a bull market probably, well, the actual bull market will probably be next year, but this year you'll definitely have rallies, right? So after price falls for like another 3 months. I would say like going into the summer months, the fall seasons, the fall season usually for some reason causes price to rally that specific time, right?
Okay.
So this year we'll have like 3 sentiment changes. One will be around February, March, as I said before, then 3 months after that, and then which will be around June, July, and then around October, around that area.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is an interesting tweet that I'm actually very interested to hear your thoughts on. So this one says, our reality is governed by patterns of time, which is why history repeats itself. Big events such as US elections, World Cups, Olympics, etc. were deliberately placed within the years they occurred and will occur. Ultimately, they are just there to distract us from reality, in quotations. So the question off the back of this would be like, I know you've already mentioned the elections and midterms, but like even like the World Cups, the Olympics, these sort of events, what is it about these events that they're well timed? Let's take a break for a minute there, guys, because I want to tell you about our brand new sponsor, Funded Peaks. Now, Funded Peaks is a brand new evaluation firm which is set to release in the coming days. Now, let me tell you, they are here to change the industry. I know what you're thinking, Riz, everyone says that, but let me tell you the facts. They are coming with the biggest max drawdown in the entire industry. It is 12%. So you have 12% max drawdown so you can have peace of mind when you are trading. Not only that, that drawdown is actually balanced-based drawdown. Again, so you can have peace of mind to trade any strategy that you have. On top of that, they're focused on giving you the best trading conditions so you can have peace of mind when you're trading. You can have a max allocation of $600,000 with Funded Peaks alone. And when you get payouts, they will be processed in as little as 24 hours. They are also bringing in the best educators in the trading industry so that they can provide value to their community. And that is only a couple of reasons as to why they are looking to change the industry. A huge announcement is coming into a complete game changer within the industry. The best way to find out is to make sure you click the link in the description below, join the Discord, join the email list, and you can actually have early access to Funded Peaks. I am extremely excited for their launch, and I cannot wait to see the game change. But for now, click those links, and let's get back to the episode.
I think that history repeats itself. I think that they're trying to like keep us from realizing that there is a pattern, that something that always happens, like every 4 years, every 16 years, for example, you have similar things that usually happen. Basically, I think that we live in a simulation of some sort, and I think that certain events or possible black swan events are most times predictable.
Okay. Because I know ICT talks about black swan events quite often.
He does.
Do you feel like in terms of like a COVID situation, do you think that there'll be more in the future for us? Like there's possible lockdowns or viruses that cause us to lock down? Or do you think that was like a one-off?
Yeah, I think there'll be more of that. Exactly. War. And most times I talk about these things, it's not to scare anyone, but to just like get everyone to try to get the skill, because it pays. You can make money in different ways with this skill, right? I know people that don't trade that make millions per year by offering their analysis to big companies because they're so good, but they don't like trading, but they still make money, right? Because that company has people that will press the button for them. Just give the analysis. You have analysts, you have traders, and you have risk managers. You're running a big firm. You need all of that.
Do you yourself? Do you have like a service? Do you have like an education or anything?
I have a private mentorship that I started this year. I haven't talked about it on Twitter. I just had it in my Telegram group. I started it. I done like 2 lectures so far already. So far, it's good. Everyone loves it. But yeah, I'm not planning to bring that to Twitter until maybe 2025.
Really?
Yeah, I capped it at around 1,000. That's That's probably the most that I'll probably take. And right now, it's already over 900, and I didn't even want 900. It's just that people keep asking me, which is the reason why I started to do it. You know, I'll see like hundreds of messages per day. Can you please do this? Can you please, we can sign an NDA, you teach me privately. Can you show me how to do this? Can you mentor me? Please, you know, then, yeah, that's why.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So one more tweet, I think this is the last one? Yeah, last one. So, pay attention to how crazy this year started. You haven't seen anything yet. Even when we are further in the year and you think things can't get worse, 2025 will make 2024 seem like nothing. Try your very best to learn how to trade this year. Good luck.
Yeah.
So break that down for us. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying that the markets are going to stop working or anything like that. I'm just anticipating bad things to happen in 2025. I've done extensive research. I've crunched numbers. I've looked at past years, past decades, past centuries, and I've seen certain things that point to 2025. So even right now we have lots of rumors of wars and stuff like that. I believe that most of them will probably break out 2025, if not this year. I believe inflation will get worse. I believe that people are at risks of losing their jobs, which is why I am trying to urge everyone to try to learn, which is why I put out that video in the first place, right? I could have just kept it to myself. Yeah. And just not tell anyone or whatever, but I put it out for free. YouTube is right there.
Talking of which, in terms of the video, what do you think, what is next? I know you hinted towards, you know, that being like nothing compared to what's coming. So, do you have, what's planned for the next video?
What's planned next is I'm going to talk about different fractions that you can break each quarter in, which serves as specific functions as well. Right? So, for example, you can break the first quarter, all of them, you know, in thirds, and the first third, omit that. Don't pay attention to the first third. That's where you have the least probable price action. Leave that alone. The second and third of the first quarter is where you will focus on. You will use that to gauge every quarter that follows. You just don't pay attention to the first one, like stuff like that and other stuff, which, yeah, I'll talk about.
Are you excited to sort of grow that community even more? You know? Yeah. Because I know you did the first video.
To be honest, the reason why I actually did the video is because someone did it and was claiming that it was theirs, right? Like, that's the only reason I made a YouTube channel. So people were like, this lady is on YouTube saying that she found quarterly theory, and I was like, what? Instantly, I just went into my bathroom, take my computer. The audio is horrible. I recorded it on my phone.
Really?
I have a mic at home, but I was trying to record it and it was just giving me bad audio. So I just used my phone and I did it within I'll probably say 3 hours. I did everything and then I just went over it, tried to edit it or whatever, and then I just posted it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was actually rushed because I just saw people just posting about it and claiming that it's theirs or they found it, and I'm like, nah, that's crazy. Like, you can post, even right now on YouTube, you'll see people posting about it, which is fine, but they don't say it's theirs. They will post execution quarterly theory, or they will say days quarterly theory or stuff like that, right? And some people out there, they'll probably say that I stole Michael's stuff, or you got this from private mentorship. I was never in Michael's private mentorship in the first place, right? I learned everything from his YouTube channel, never in his private mentorship. And
you actually sat through the rants.
Yes,
that's where the gems were.
All the rants, everyone. You guys just didn't sit through the rants. That's why you skip when he says not to skip. You skip when he's talking about his son and his daughter. And then in between that, he just puts something in. Yeah, you skip all of those stuff. So yeah, that's
what do you think to that though? Because I know a lot of people's feedback in terms of ICT, sometimes they get put off by the rants. But obviously for you, it's actually been the opposite, where the rants have been so helpful.
Yeah, the rants are where the meat of his knowledge lies, right? Because he does that on purpose. This guy, he does that stuff on purpose.
Do you respect that, or do you think like it's kind of annoying? Why can't you just be direct?
It's annoying, but but I can't do anything about it. I just gotta accept it, right?
Yeah, that's
and he's phenomenal, right? And I respect him. So whatever he does is his business, right? I can't force him to be another way. He's probably like that he likes renting or whatever. I can't.
Definitely, yeah, that's fair enough. And do you think one thing that's interesting is a lot of people, like, December just passed. You know, we're coming into January. You already mentioned about, you know, the first quarter, so like January is not really the best time to be looking to trade anyway. But you know, some people say like, oh, summer's no good to trade, December's no good to trade. Some people always say like, you know, don't trade Mondays. Some people say don't trade Fridays. You know, you probably heard these along the way.
I think that they're just you can, even in January, you can if you like slow price action, you can trade January. If you like slow price action, you can trade December. I believe that personally, January and December, I don't trade a lot. Right, so even right now, I just can't wait for February. January, December, just like how I just talked about the thirds in each quarter, the first third of the first quarter, you just omit that. That would be January for me. Yeah, exactly. So I don't pay attention to January. Mondays, it depends. You can trade Mondays on like the lower time frames, right? But if you're looking for a swing trade, then I'm not gonna probably look for a swing trade on Monday. I'll probably look for that Tuesday or Wednesday. Mondays are probably the most choppiest day of the week, but you can trade Monday and you can trade Friday. You can trade anytime. It just depends on you. If you want to trade, you can trade, right? Because at the end of the day, you should be managing your risk, so a loss shouldn't have much effect on you.
Definitely. And in terms of you know, for people out there who no doubt probably already know about quarterly theory thanks to your video, or if not, they're probably going to watch it after this video. How do you utilize the quarterly theory in terms of then executing off the back of that? So you have the timing, but are you using, let's say, like liquidity? Are you using certain ICT concepts to then enter the market?
100%. So quarterly theory would like be an overlay on ICT's concepts, right? So personally, I have all the quarters, the true opens in the back of my head. Most times, and even when I'm trading, most times I don't have to like annotate anything because I've been doing it for a while, so I just they just pop out of the chart at me. The only time I really annotate something is if I'm recording a trade and I want to post it on Twitter or something like that, so I want people to see which levels I was using. So I use imbalances, highs and lows mostly, right? I use order blocks and breakers and stuff like that, but mostly I'm trying to buy below a old low or sell above a old high, reacting to a higher time frame imbalance. So like, imbalances, highs and lows.
Definitely.
Mostly.
So would you say the quarterly theory is like an overlay of obviously timing, of course, but it's like it's like a higher time frame narrative play, if that makes sense. So it's like, you know how you will use higher time frames, then go into lower time frames. So it's the same principle using the quarterly theory.
It's the same principle using the quarterly theory. So you have the higher time frame cycles, which have effect on the lower time frame cycles, right? So for example, during Q1 of a higher time frame cycle, the Q1 of a lower time frame cycle will be really, really choppy. But if it's during Q2, the Q1 of a lower time frame cycle will probably move a little bit more, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's best to look for manipulation and on lower time frame cycles during the manipulation quarter of higher time frame cycles, if you understand. So they affect each other, right? It's like gears turning.
It's a good analogy in terms of having the gears turning, so you have the higher ones that then lead to the smaller, more intricate ones. It's like a watch.
Yeah, that's how it works.
You have those very intricate pieces, but without the larger pieces, it's not going to work. Like you can't get to those small, intricate pieces without the larger ones. So I think it works very well. And final question then, what would you? This is more for the audience, I guess. What would you advise traders out there? You know, like I said, you've already explained how you go about using the quarterly theory and that you're using ICT concepts. But let's say for the audience out there, what would you advise them when because there might be a bunch of people who this might be new to them, right? So what would you advise the audience of, moving forward, if they're going to start, whether they're implementing the quarterly theory or not? What is the best advice you can give them to progress within their trading journey?
Focus on imbalances. Study imbalances, fair value gaps. If you're right now you're just studying like order blocks and breaker blocks and stuff like that, I think it's more important to focus on imbalances first. After that, implement time. Time is, I believe, is the most important thing that will help you. It's tricky. Anyone that probably says they don't like using time, they probably just think it's difficult, which it will be the first time when you start using it, right? But after you start to gain experience, it becomes really easier. So even you have guys out there trading with just price, I believe that they will be way better if they try to implement time. The only reason they haven't tried to implement time is because they're probably already profitable or something like that. Manage risk impeccably, right? If you're just starting, use 1%, 0.5%. Have goals for each day. Don't take too much trades. Maximum trades you should be taking per day is probably 2. You don't want to be in 3 trades at the same time. No, don't do that. Backtest. You have to do a lot of backtesting, and backtesting is not going back on replay mode and hitting buttons and watching previous price action move. Backtesting is going back and annotating charts, going through them at specific times over and over, trying to see patterns repeating, trying to get yourself acquainted with price action. So backtesting is where you'll have most of your aha moments, is where you will learn the most, as price will teach you more than how anyone else could teach you.
A lot of people can take notes of that. Hopefully they take action on that, obviously most of all. But Day, it's been absolute. Do people call you Day? I don't know, Trader Day?
Everyone calls me Day.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Then I felt bad in case I got something wrong. But Day, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. I'm sure there's so much for people to take away. Hopefully we can do this again another time as well.
For sure.
But make sure everyone drop a comment with your biggest takeaway from this episode. The links for Trader Day will be in the description below, so make sure you check those out as well. And until next time, everyone, take care.